Forcing myself to watch the worst rated movies on IMDb. Today, I watched Troll 2, one of the worst movies ever made. It starts with an awful scene explaining the main threat.
He began to feel ill.
Am I supposed to be scared by that? Oh no, Shrek's come! The next scene really shows how bad the acting is.
This time, we'll be able to be together for sure.
I don't blame the actors because they were forced to read the lines as is, even if they were written in broken English. A few scenes later, something truly scary happens.
Joshua, start singing. Come on, sing that song I like so much.
If you don't sing that fucking song, you're gonna get the beating of your fucking life. A few scenes later, the kid has a vision that all of their food is poisoned, and this is his solution.
Let's do it.
Why the fuck couldn't you just knock it off the table? It gets worse, trust me.
What are you going to do to me, Daddy?
No shit, I thought he was gonna pee on him. Then we get the most iconic scene in the movie.
And then they're going to eat me! Oh my god!
I guess they couldn't go for another take. Afterwards, we learn the villain's motivations.
Humans nourish themselves with these, violating their own bodies.
So they're mad because people aren't healthy and they want everyone to be vegetarian? The character's solution is to eat a bologna sandwich in front of them. Then they die. Troll 2 is fucked in every way. The director still deludes himself into thinking he made a good movie.
Do you think that you had the worst movie? I did a very good movie.
I feel bad for everybody involved. They're gonna have this on their resume forever. If you care about cinema and the people who bring it to life, please go to the link in my bio. Just donate whatever you can. Also, the Entertainment Community Fund is a really great resource. The writers and everybody else deserve to have fair pay. Forcing myself to watch the worst rated movies on IMDb. Today, I watched Mortal Kombat Annihilation, the worst video game movie ever made. It starts off with Shao Kahn and other characters confronting our main heroes. Then we see some of the worst acting put to film.
You will die.
I don't even know what to fucking say to that. Then it's established that Shao Kahn wants to merge the realms, which would basically end the world. Then the movie is terrible fight scene after terrible fight scene with some of the worst CGI I've ever seen. Then it ends with Liu Kang turning into a dragon and defeating Shao Kahn. It's so awful. All the characters' personalities from the first film are totally gone. Honestly, it really hurt me to see everyone I love turn into stupid goons that die after 3 minutes of screen time. If you're a Mortal Kombat fan, this film is gonna break your heart. You're better off watching a porn parody. If you care about cinema and the people who bring it to life, please go to the link in my bio. Just donate whatever you can. Also, the Entertainment Community Fund is a really great resource. The writers and everybody else deserve to have fair pay. Forcing myself to watch the worst rated movies on IMDb. And today, I watched Robo-Woman. The movie starts off with text. Apparently, there's some black market cybernetic surgeries going on. Then we get a montage of stock footage with the news guy talking about crimes.
Finds that there are over 500 reported hate crimes in 2017.
Wow, 2 lazy cliches in the first 5 minutes. Then we get to one of the weirdest scenes in film history.
I have to at least ask you one last time if you'll go out with me.
Even on my last day, you won't give up?
So then the creepy guy and his friends murder the woman. Afterwards, her friend brings her to get cybernetic surgery. And the set is using a tarp for the fucking wall? This movie was made with like $5. Her robot arm is from a fucking Halloween store? Like, she was stabbed in the stomach. Why does she need a robot arm? She gets self-defense classes, and I gotta say, it's pretty badass. She does eventually find some of the bad guys. In this scene, there's a lot of weird ass shots. That's definitely not creepy at all, but unfortunately, Robo-Woman does die. But there's an amazing twist. The doctors are gonna use Robo-Woman as their personal weapon. Honestly, this is one of the most insane things ever. If you care about cinema and the people who bring it to life, please go to the link in my bio. Just donate whatever you can. Also, the Entertainment Community Fund is a really great resource. The writers and everybody else deserve to have fair pay. Forcing myself to watch the worst rated movies on IMDb. And today I watched the most disgusting movie ever made. Number 1, the technical stuff. It's some of the worst animation I've ever seen. Nothing has any detail to it. I could barely understand what's happening most of the time. Everybody moves so weirdly. I actually got dizzy watching it. The voice acting is next level bad. This really wants to be a horror movie, but it's very distracting when the characters talk like this.
Child living inside of your mother is the Antichrist. Huh? I don't know, Abby.
There's such a weird contrast with their voices. Oh, your mother's baby's the Antichrist. Oh my god, what? The basic fundamentals of filmmaking they completely fail on. Number 2, nothing makes any fucking sense. This is the most incomprehensible movie I've ever seen. The only story beats I really picked up on is that this dog with red eyes tells this kid he has to kill his mother's baby because it's the Antichrist. I don't know why, they never really explain it. It is actual nonsense. Number 3, it's way too violent. This film is just a bunch of scenes with the worst crimes you can think of. Child abuse, animal abuse, and murder. All of this shit has no purpose to the story. It only wants to be shocking. That is one of my biggest pet peeves ever. Where the dead goes to die is just depraved nonsense. This is definitely one of the worst things I've ever seen. Forcing myself to watch the worst rated movies on IMDb. Today, I watched Little and Big Monsters. It's actually a prequel to What's Up, which is one of the most racist movies I've ever seen.
Hey, Beijing! Give me a hand, will ya?
It starts off with this guy talking to a robot. Then he says some racist shit.
I'm sure I unsubscribed from that darn Chinese news channel.
It feels like I'm watching my uncle rant about black people. That was the most fulfilling conversation we've ever had. In the next scene, we really get to see how bad the animation is. Like, what was he doing with the gun? Was he rubbing it against his face? I like doing that shit with my Nerf guns. Yeah. A few scenes later, we learn the little kid loves sweets.
Into bed eating a lollipop. You're gonna be as big as a whale.
He's gonna be obese by the time he's 12. What a fat piece of shit. Then they talk with some aliens, but in reality, the aliens aren't evil. They just want to take down an evil monster. The movie ends with our cast of characters teaming up to take down a poorly animated monster. I really hate how shameless these movies are. They just ride the coattails of way better films. Forcing myself to watch the worst rated movies on IMDb. And today, I watched a crappy Indiana Jones ripoff. First of all, the sound mixing is horrendous. It feels like there's audio tracks missing from the movie. It really reminds me of that awful Mummy trailer. There's barely any sound effects in some scenes, so it makes it feel very awkward. In this particular scene, the dialogue is also very inconsistent.
Not to the treasure. There's water there on them.
I really hate the look of this movie. It's so fucking ugly and cheap. The action scenes suck. It's just a bunch of lame shooting. That is my least favorite type of action set piece. There's tons of crappy CGI shots. Has one of the worst opening scenes ever. First of all, the location is super fucking boring. It's just in some field. My backyard is a better place to set an action scene. Let's compare this to the opening scene of Raiders. It takes place in this creepy ass cave. The music is awesome. In this piece of shit, nothing really happens. It's just two old dudes and one of them dies. Nothing's established. It's bullshit. You can cut this scene from the movie and it would have no effect whatsoever. The worst part of this film is the main character. He's really unlikable and lame. He has no interest in anything that's happening. He really drags it down. The only thing I kinda liked was the villain. He makes these weird ass Jim Carrey faces in scenes that are supposed to be serious, but I only found them funny. This movie is complete bullshit. I fucking hate it. Forcing myself to watch the worst rated movies on IMDb. And today, I watched Sharknado. I know this movie is trying to be bad somewhat. First of all, this film has some of the worst sound mixing I've ever seen. I could barely understand what anyone says. The camera work is really fucking bad. It's like if I film my videos like this.
Too strong, we're gonna have to go around it!
One part that really made me laugh is that the money prop is obviously a fucking toy, but I bet all the child slaves that made it are proud to see their work in a film. The editing is really bad. I get what they were trying to communicate there, but it was so poorly executed. We are gonna get to the good stuff. We are about to see the best character ever fucking made, George.
Can I get my road done?
Like, what the fuck was he saying? Also, what is that fucking face? God damn it, I love you, George. You're my fucking boy.
Where did it go?
Where did it go? But unfortunately, he does meet his demise. George, you were a hero. Then the movie becomes really boring after that. There's barely any moments where it's tongue-in-cheek. There's this whole fucking stupid plot line with the dad trying to find his kid. And his wife is really stupid.
Do you see that? There could be kids in there.
You care more about other people than you do your own family.
Are you really getting upset that he wants to save children? Fuck you. You deserve to be bait, asshole. Go watch Sharknado. It sucks ass, and I fucking love it.
Where did it go?
Forcing myself to watch the worst rated movies on IMDb. Today, I watched a really bad Trolls ripoff. First of all, this movie's supposed to be called Trollland, but in the movie, the title is Trolls with the Z. Couldn't you just make it Trollland in the movie? Are you that lazy? The basic plot of this movie is trolls pranking humans. There's a scene where they're awarding the top pranksters. The top prankster of the month is Phoebe for committing multiple hate crimes against black children. The animation is obviously horrendous. None of the characters actually touch the ground they're standing on. They're just merely floating above it. They're always shaking and moving in weird ways. There's this scene where the main character is getting bullied, but the bully's arms are moving in the weirdest way possible.
I've waited.
Brayden, you have no friends, you fucking pussy.
Honestly, the animation makes everything look so creepy. The design of the trolls is so weird. It just fascinates me how animators can think this is okay. This shit would traumatize children. This movie is absolutely hilarious. Just the terrible animation makes it worth watching. Forcing myself to watch the worst rated movies on IMDb. Today, I watched a complete lunatic try to make a Hitchcock movie. This is probably one of the slowest movies I've ever seen. Like, there are scenes of the character driving that go on for 5 minutes. Like, we don't need to see him get in his car. If you took out all the nonsense of this movie, it would be like 10 minutes long. The movie is so poorly edited and framed. I've seen ISIS execution videos with better cinematography. And the director of this movie always defends it. He just says, well, from a distance, it looks really good. Didn't seem like he gave any of the actors direction. That's why everybody is so bland in this movie. A lot of the scenes come off as really creepy.
A beautiful one too.
This guy's worse at talking to women than me. That's coming from a guy who has multiple restraining orders filed against him. This movie basically tries to be The Birds. You know what made The Birds so great? It uses its time to focus on building characters and building tension, and not people talk about fucking climate change. I know I've been shitting on this movie a lot, but it's absolutely hilarious. It's a beautiful mix of narcissism and stupidity. It's the Citizen Kane of movies. Forcing myself to watch the worst rated movies on IMDb. Today, I watched a terrible Ratatouille ripoff. Obviously, the animation is pretty shit. Nothing has any detail to it. Everything looks so blocky. What the characters are saying never sync up to the animation. The music is bad. This movie is also super repetitive. They literally use the same scene 3 times over and over again. If you've seen one part of the movie, you've seen the whole thing. I get the impression that people who made this movie think kids are really stupid. That's why they have a narrator explain everything.
The Marvelous Cities is a prosperous city.
I wonder if this story takes place in a city.
In the heart of this city.
Oh, thank you for the clarification. Now I know. I'm not really surprised though. This movie wasn't made with any passion. It was made to trick your grandma that only has 3 days to live. That couldn't possibly know the difference between Ratatouille and Ratatouille. This wasn't as bad as Food Fight, but it was still pretty garbage. It doesn't really matter though, because I still have a lot of bad movies to watch. Over 250 of them. Forcing myself to watch the worst rated movies on IMDb. Today, I watched the worst animated movie I've ever fucking seen. First of all, the animation is absolutely horrendous. The movie looks super fucking unfinished. All the textures are bland and the character designs are so fucking ugly. Like, look at this shit. What the fuck is this? If I were a kid watching this, I'd be so terrified. Oh, look it. It's Amy Schumer, everybody. The script is also so fucking terrible. There is so many bad and annoying food puns. The world of the movie makes no fucking sense. The basic plot is that all the characters live in a supermarket. How the fuck are there roads? How the fuck is there a sky? You know what made Toy Story so awesome? The characters had to adapt to the world around them, so they made cool set pieces out of it. Also, I fucking hate how everybody moves in this movie. So fucking bad. Everybody moves like they're in fucking Goat Simulator. Yeah, this movie made me really fucking angry. This is the first movie I have ever watched at 2 times speed. I couldn't handle it at a certain point. I've heard of this movie's reputation, but I was not ready for how fucking terrible it is. Forcing myself to watch the worst rated movies on IMDb. And today I watched one of the worst action movies ever made. First of all, the movie is super fucking boring. There isn't any tension at all, unlike the first movie. Just the premise isn't even exciting. The first movie, a bomb is on a bus, and if it goes under 50 miles per hour, it will explode. See? That's so great. Instant fucking tension. The second one is about a boat, and the villain can just control it for some fucking reason. The main character in this movie never does anything impressive or cool. There isn't a single redeeming quality about this movie. I fucking hate it. I only paid attention like 30% of the time. It's fine, I guess. I only have 99 more movies to watch. Fucking kill me now. Forcing myself to watch the worst rated movies on IMDb. Today, I watched a really racist Finding Nemo ripoff. There's literally a character in this movie called Mr. Sushi. Also, he has the most stereotypical voice you can imagine.
Ship is a secret place.
This is the voice actor for Mr. Sushi, by the way. The other voices are really annoying, especially the main characters. Just pissing me off throughout the whole movie. Professor Shark's voice makes him sound really creepy.
Oh my wonderful little fish.
I'll give this movie credit, the animation isn't that bad, but at the same time, it's also pretty lazy. None of their faces change. The whole movie is so repetitive. They go to the creepy Mr. Shark, and then they go to a task and praise Jesus, and then they go back to him. I forgot to say, there's a really weird narrator in this movie that literally explains every action that the characters are doing.
Muggles enjoy swim quickly.
Follow me to see me review the Up ripoff. Jesus Christ, I don't know why I did this. Forcing myself to watch the worst rated movies on IMDb. Today, I watched an awful Kung Fu Panda ripoff. Out of all the movies I've seen, this one probably has the laziest animation. Things are always clipping into each other. The design for the main character is really bad. He just looks so fucking ugly. His teeth are more split than mine. He is also just really unlikable. He's just a useless piece of shit. Also, his mentor is such an asshole to him. I think this one definitely has the worst voice acting. Everybody's always talking so fast. The voice actors were just done. They just wanted to finish this stupid movie. I just hate how the characters move. There's one scene in particular that really threw me off, and it goes on for such a long time. There's also a lot of really random dance sequences, more like the little Zesty fighter. There's not much to say about these movies. They're just lazy and bad. Forcing myself to watch the worst rated movies on IMDb. Today, I watched an awful Coco ripoff. There's something really funny about the voice acting. You can really tell they're all voiced by white people. The guy who voiced Mr. Sushi is in this movie. But is he gonna do every race now? If they make a Soul ripoff, is he gonna play the main character? There's one voice actor in particular that's really annoying.
Oh, that's your name.
Movie is shot like when you talk to an NPC in a video game. The animation is of course hilarious. Just like Trollland, the characters don't really blend in with the environment they're in. They're just merely paste onto it. I think the dad sounds hilarious.
I knew the day would come when you would ask these questions.
Not that you were pussy. I frankly agree with her. I think the funniest part of this movie is when anybody sings. They're so awkward and bad. But there's one that I really liked, not gonna lie. Just like a lot of these terrible rip-off movies, there's no effort put into this one. Another note, if you're not a pussy, you would join my Discord server. Just click the link in my bio.